Alright, we're watching Wild Deprez, as he's known on Twitch. And he's playing Demo Man here on Snakewater, so we're going to see what he can do. Rolling out lower. Spamming pipes early. Interesting. I mean, the pipe spam and the timing, like you're trying to hit the combo, I would assume. It's a bit early. You probably want to wait a couple more seconds. I think the timing for combo is like 9:37 or so. So at least wait for that. But it looks like he has a lot of ammo on these mids, so this is good so far. He just didn't really do a lot of early damage, but he maintained his health well and like positioned himself so that he was not in the middle of all the spam, so that was good. He was just standing on a sticky, which is kind of questionable. So yeah. First of all, just that pipe spam, if that's going to be your strat, you better know the timing, and he did not know the timing. After you do that, you should probably look to do damage on roof, because their combo's going to be slow, so they can't counter jump as fast. So trying to control the roof after that is important. Oh, your medic should be... Oh, that was actually a good jump. Good to jump out of there. Maybe reacted a bit slow. Like the instant you got around this corner is when you should have jumped, not after you've walked a little bit further. After you saw they Ubered, you should be turning around and jumping immediately, because then your medic wouldn't have to Uber. Your medic there Ubered to save you. Alright. So you guys are stacking the point. Once they get these spawns, you should all move up, because likely you will deny the remaining waves. This dude's just wandering around. What the fuck? There he was obviously not pressing tab, because 4 of them got forward. He saw no one here, so it should have logically meant that they were all over here still. Then he heard a rocket jump. The soldier jumped above him. He didn't react to that sound either. So just a little bit of a awareness lacking there. So here it's even Ubers. They're just building on the rollout. And if they're just going to feed like this, kill them. That was good. Sometimes if they overextend and just push into you, you should just trap off their exit and trust your teammates to kill them. There, sticking the point is like irrelevant. You have a number advantage, so you should be, like as a demo, your priority isn't to cap. So you should have been trying to kill them. The only time you cap as a demo is if you are like able to get on the point and just trap it off. But since it was already trapped, you couldn't get on it, so you should have just kept fighting and trying to kill them. That was really strange how you guys didn't win that, to be honest. Rock and roll. Okay, this is very, 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 very weird. Oh, I think your med just dropped. But there you're fighting alone, so the problem with that is as a demo, you're like one of the weakest classes to Uber in like an outnumbered situation. You know, if they're out in the open and they're not confined to like tiny choke points or obvious retreat paths, Ubering a demo man kind of sucks, because out in the open, like, you're relying on hitting projectiles and hitting pipes and all this stuff when they're just going to be jumping on and off of all kinds of things, and honestly, if they just stay in your face, like, it's hard to kill them. So I think he just needs to slow it down, stop pushing constantly. It seems like every time he's able to, if he's not being directly like contested, he's holding W and then he's dying immediately, you know? If they're not spamming him, he just walks forward and he's not really aware of like the number advantages or how valuable his life is, I would say. So I think maybe a good rule for him to start training himself to follow is to just let his pocket be the one pushing. Don't bomb into window. Don't ever do stuff like that. Because what would you do? Like, think about it. Imagine you would have hit that jump. What would you have done? You get in the window. There's their entire team in there. You couldn't kill any of them. You would just die. You need to learn how to like bait your teammates more. Like your pocket should be ahead of you, and you should be behind him, and using him as a meat shield, essentially. That Uber was bad just because you guys Ubered when it was even Ubers, and there was nothing to kill. If you're gonna be using Ubers aggressively on even Ubers, it's when they're all bunched up, and or if you have a couple people that are vulnerable that you can kill.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
But you guys end up cleaning up the fight there.
Alert! Our control point is being captured.
Zelda nerd, I feel great. So you guys are coming in now. If you're buffed like this and you're trying to get to a fight that you know is happening, you can afford to sticky jump if you're fully buffed, you know? 'Cause it only does like 40 damage, 45 damage, and your med can heal you up pretty quickly if you're trying to get in fast. But here you made the right choice not to commit to that. Your teammates all died. You didn't really have any damage to go off of. But you guys do have Uber advantage. If you have Uber advantage and a number disadvantage, you don't really have time to sit there trapping. You know, the only way to really hold in that situation is to just surprise them in a choke point and push into them, because they're going to be trying to walk in with their number advantage and hope that that can overwhelm your Uber advantage. So just playing close to the chokes and surprising them around corners and stuff is the best way to handle that.
Alert! Our control point is being captured.
Alright, here you're just standing out here, 50 health, trying to cap a point you already have or something. I don't know what's going on right now. There's a lot of chaotic stuff happening on this team right now. Like, if you're building, you don't build below like slightly above full health. You never build to like half health or lower. Like, you see what your scout's doing right now? He's doing it right. He's building to like 150, 140 health. Here you could be doing things actively. Like, you could be setting up traps. You could be peeking and spamming. You could be setting defensive stickies up and then spamming pipes. Like, you don't need to just stand still here doing nothing. So there's a trap right above you. Hopefully you see it. Your med's gonna drop. Oh, alright. Lucky, lucky, lucky. It seems he also never charges stickies. Charging stickies is really, really important, because I think I've noticed like half your stickies that you're shooting just end up landing really short, and they're doing 0 damage.
Alert! The final control point is being contested.
Oh my god, you have 100 health. Don't jump in. So overall, he just needs to know that his life needs to be more valued. That's an interesting spot to land. Alright, coming into mid. That's first sticky should be fully charged. So you should learn where you're supposed to start charging it, so that it can land right on the demo or in the choke point. I think you're charging it a bit too late. And literally, like, that first sticky on mid is the only sticky you're charging during this entire demo, it seems.
The control point is being captured.
So, nice pick there. I'd be backing up now. That scout could easily charge you, so what you want to do is like set a sticky in between you and him, you know? You don't want to keep shooting offensive stickies, because once you shoot that sticky, that scout knows this entire area is free for him to hold W into. I think this guy thinks he has an escape plan. So their med just died. If you're trying to build with your medic, you don't actually have to jump every time you det your sticky. You can just do the damage and keep walking. Their med just died, so you should not be trapping right now. You guys should be looking to push. I know you just got a kill with that trap, so you're thinking, oh, let me use that trap again. That was pretty cool. But you can't like tunnel vision on that kind of stuff. You need to pay attention to the bigger picture. Your team is still fighting here. That was just way too late to Uber in. And at this point, you should know this Uber is a complete, like, it's a complete wash. Like, it should be running away. Like, the instant that Uber was popped and they were 6 or 5 up or whatever, should have just run away after your med dropped everyone. Being Ubered as a demo kind of sucks. The only time it's really good is when there's a sentry, or if they're all confined in a tiny area, or if they all have to back up along a very predictable path, or if they're all just grouped up, or if they have a heavy. You know, those 5 or so situations. Here you're trapping the point, but on Snakewater Last, you actually have enough time to trap a choke point and then trap the point afterwards. So it's not necessary to trap the point right off the bat. And there, I mean, you tried to cross through the most, like, exposed area you could. You could have tried to bait back towards your spawn. Then they would have to deal with your trap, and maybe you could deal some damage on them while they're looking at all that. So I guess the timing of those grenades was a little bit better that time. You did hit the med with 1 roller. But I think your team would probably benefit more from if you would hit their scouts. But this mid's working okay, I guess. You have health, so you're trying to push forward. Alright, they ran away. You should try and chase. Just have 1 scout cap. You don't need to be capping here. The reason that you sometimes want your demo to chase is if you can put enough pressure on them, they have to back up towards a choke point, and then you can trap it off. You've secured second for free. This is another one of those god-awful Ubers where you should know that it's just going to be a complete loss. Wait, they didn't get Uber? Alright, that shouldn't have happened. They should have gotten Uber. They're 2 up. You guys should try to peek last. If they get any spawns, though, I wouldn't go. Alright, since you guys slowed down to fight that guy, you definitely need to hold, because they're just going to start getting spawns. But yeah, I don't like how you just like stand around looking at nothing a lot of the time. You should be throwing down some stickies or traps, you know? Just so you can peek, or so that you can just wait on the trap for them to push out. Every corner you peek, you should put a sticky down, because there could always be someone hiding behind it looking to rush you. I also think you hold your crosshair way too high a lot of the time. You usually want to be like aiming a bit lower so that you can put stickies in front of people so that they can't rush you. And then if you charge stickies, you can land them right at their feet. I usually only raise my crosshair above like mid-level if they're like long range-ish. Otherwise, I'm like always aiming kind of down so I can land stickies at people's feet. So here you just want to be careful not to get baited into their Uber. So yeah, they're still like you're aiming really high when the demo's like right in front of you. That should be like you throw a sticky right in the ground. If you aim here and you shoot, your sticky's gonna land like over here. You want to be precise with where you put your stickies and like aim low.
Our last control point is being captured.
It looks like he's jumping a bit far on his first jump in spawn. So he should probably throw his sticky a little bit further away so that he lands like safely at the doorway, not in like these corners and shit. Yeah, this whole like shoot one sticky then spam pipes thing is not really working. I think you should just focus early on just charging every sticky and actually shooting directly at people. Those grenades aren't landing on anything. They're just being wasted. And then when people do end up rushing him, he has nothing loaded. So it's not really working.
Alert. The control point is being contested. We have captured the control point.
Stay with me, Doc. You're with me, Doctor. Medic! 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 Medic!
Alright, you guys have slight ad, but it looks like you're just trying to muscle your way in. Yeah, it's better to just wait, probably. You guys have a sniper too. Very odd to run a sniper when you have like a 40 or 50 ad. And then your soldier dies when you have a sniper and a ad. So this is all just turning into a shitfest. But I like how you're playing close when you have uber advantage but down numbers. But the problem is you were passive. Like you weren't assertive to like uber into them. Instead you waited for them to push you and then you got forced in an unfavorable position.
Our control point is being captured.
And now you just overextended when it was clear that you weren't going to get anything off that Uber.
The control point is being captured.
Hold on. I keep dropping my fucking headphone amp. It keeps
We have lost the control point.
Can you hear me? Please let me know because my mic got unplugged. And I just plugged it back in. If you can hear me, I'll resume this. Yes, okay, resuming.
Medic! Medic!
So you guys picked their demo. You should know that they don't have Uber yet, so this would be a good time to be aggressive. Holy, that was kind of a zombie play there, man. Like, I don't know. You just saw that soldier, you hit him, and then you like held W, with no regard to whether you had your team there, or whether he was being supported or anything. You did a lot of damage to him, so you don't need to tunnel him necessarily. Like, once you've done like that 100, 150 damage to that soldier, you should rely on your teammates to kill him usually. You don't need to finish that kill. Your priority should shift to like making sure you're defending yourself and that you're you're just gathering information rather than just tunnel visioning that soldier. Am I using the O2? Yes, I am, Shiki. Hello, MK as well. I think your team has some really bad off-classing habits, though. Looks like you guys run a sniper and a spy when you have advantage and shit like that, so I wouldn't encourage you to do that. Usually you want to have as much mobility and combat classes as possible when you have uber advantage. Ooh. Should tilt my camera up a bit. Sorry, I normally lean back like this, so that's why.
Captured the control point.
So it's even Ubers right now. You guys have a sniper. Usually you just want to wait. Let your sniper do something. Don't just hold W. If your team is like really confident to dry push them, then I mean maybe you could do it. Alright, you guys did some decent damage here. I would hope. Alright, you're dead. Oh man. I just think he's a little bit too eager to push sometimes. And he's not baiting his pocket like he should be. They don't really have a combat scout or a pocket scout or combo scout or whatever. Their scouts are always like on the flank and they're running a fucking sniper. Like he should really chill. Just let the sniper get a pick, let your pocket make space, and you just do damage kind of in the background. Or you bait traps onto yourself. Ooh, gravy. Next big thing right here. Here you guys aren't tracking Ubers, I don't think. Or if you are, like, again, you're just kind of standing here not doing anything. Like, you should have a trap up. There's no time for spacing out. You literally can't space out. If you're the demo man, you can always be doing something. Maybe if you're a scout, you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm just a scout. I can chip shot him, but if you're a demo, there's always something you could be doing because you can spam and you can put up traps. You can't be spacing out ever. And this guy needs to stop sniping permanently until he lowers his sense. But at least you guys have full Uber ad. He spawned sniper again when they have full Uber ad. This is not good. Because it just makes it harder for you guys to push and to move fast. You guys need to go. You have Uber ad. I have a feeling you might not be tracking it or something. And there you didn't put down a defensive sticky, so the soldier was just able to hold W into you. And here again, you peek it blind, no defensive sticky, so they just push you. Like all you have to do is throw down a sticky or two right here so that they back up, and then you know that you're in control of that fight. You're drawing the line where they can't cross. I think they're going to get Uber on this. Their med's at 98. Wow, he's not going to get Uber. Oh, he could get Uber if he arrows his teammates. I think he forgot about that. He's sniping the middle! He hasn't hit a headshot. He's just baiting a sniper. I mean, he could be throwing a sticky down. When I say bait your sniper or bait your team, what I mean is like be actively using them to deal damage or to, you know, shut down the other team. Don't just watch them die.
The control point is being contested.
Alright, they Ubered. You guys are kiting a little bit too far. Like, if you're gonna Uber, you might as well just Uber before you drop everybody. Like, the ideal time to Uber there would have been the scout gets around the corner, and right when he gets here, you Uber. That way you're able to chase. But if you guys are gonna pop once they're already, like, up here and shit, it's not gonna be good. Oh, your medic has no escape plan. Alright, he lives, luckily. And I don't know what you're doing right now. Just spinning around at last. Trapping this point is almost entirely worthless because the point is enormous. So they could be capping right here and those stickies would do 0 damage.
Our control point is
So your team's in middle. I think Gravy is like carrying the fuck out of you guys. So that's why this is working. Someone's fighting on middle. There's an alert on the top right, and you can hear that sound, that like lightning sound. You need to be way more aware of sounds, for sure. The instant that kid stepped on the point, I would have turned around immediately. I feel like he's the kind of guy right now where his entire team could get backstabbed behind him and he would never turn around.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Medic!
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Alright, they're down 3. You should let your sniper cap and you should push. You don't need to be capping right now. This is a complete wasted advantage. Because you could win this round off of the fact that their medic is dead. Or you could win it off of Uber advantage. Either way, I suppose. But I feel like you should take the soonest advantage that could give you a round win and at least see if you can do something with it. And then call it off if it's not going to work, you know? That's something we do often, or that I call for often. It's like, say we have a number advantage, and we end up peaking, but it doesn't look like we can really kill them before they're going to get spawns or whatever. Then we'll just wait for Uber and slow it down. Alright, this is a worthless Uber. You're not going to get anything. Back out. Abort. Abort. But he just goes full in.
Alert. The final control point is being contested.
We got 4 more minutes here. They have full ad, basically. You should be setting traps and just spamming grenades. That's like something I never see him do. Set traps, spam grenades. Like, I don't think he actually has used his pipes, like, once to actually defend himself. Or to, like, the best way to play demo is to have stickies out and then be shooting grenades when they're, like, in choke points and moving towards your traps. You can use your grenades to sort of influence where they move, because they have to dodge your grenades, so you can make them dodge towards your traps, you know?
Our control point is being captured.
It's good that he uses stickies a lot.
Control point is being captured.
How are they winning? It's good that he uses stickies a lot, but I think he's maybe using it a little bit too much. I never thought I'd see a demo who uses stickies too much, but I think we've seen the first one ever. If he likes using stickies, he should just run wee booties, because it'll give him a huge health and speed advantage. Honestly, might not be a bad idea. Alright, here he's actually doing it well. Oh, so close. He was a second off of that trap. His med had Ubered, though. Why didn't he just... I don't know. That would have been worth Ubering on. You guys had ad. They were pushing in and basically feeding, so... You guys need to be looking to catch them off when they're, like... When they're pushing into your Uber. Oh, they were on crits. You actually knew that, too, from earlier in the round. So you should be looking to use those Ubers more aggressively. I feel like, in general, his team never uses Ubers aggressively. They're always getting forced or, like, Ubering, like, when they're at some awful disadvantage. They're never taking control of the round.
I require assistance!
You should have shot, like, 3 stickies already by now. He's just, like, staring at them. The way that you can shoot more stickies is every time you're about to turn a corner, you're charging. And then you can shoot, and then you're charging, then you can shoot, then you're charging, then you shoot. So you're, like, always charging a sticky, and if you're not going to hit anyone with it, you quick switch. So you reset the charge. That's what you should be doing. Here, you're staring at the ground when you saw a soldier, or you heard a soldier bomb. I don't know. Alright, that worked, I guess. There it is. GG. Well done. Alright. So, big things. Big things. His mids. He needs to spam more stickies. Charge them up a lot more. Try and hit those scouts. That's what's going to give his team the advantage early on. If he can keep the scouts pressured, that sets up his soldiers to bomb, all that kind of stuff. He needs to stop holding W all the time. He needs to learn how to bait his team more, prioritize surviving, value his life a lot more. On Ubers, when he's getting Ubered, if the Uber is, if you're at a number disadvantage and they're not all in front of you just stacked up and you're pounding them with damage, you need to run away. Because you're not going to kill anyone. They're just going to kite. And as a demo, what are you going to do? You're going to do nothing. Then he needs to just set more traps and, try and play more mind gamey. Be setting traps, all over the place where you think their combo's going to come. Spam pipes to slow them down. And then you're really going to be buying your team a lot of time. Then, beyond that, his aim a little bit. He's aiming his stickies a bit high and not charging them, at all. He needs to aim a little bit lower, shoot at people's feet, and charge stickies so that when people are far away, he can hit them. And that's basically it. So work on all these things and you will improve dramatically very quickly. Alright? So thank you for the demo.